Hey guys, welcome back. In the last lecture, we implemented the refund notification mailer invocation for both admin users and customers from the update action of refunds controller. Now in this lecture, we will do some work for the admin dashboard. Here we will display some states like total refundable bookings and total active refunds to be processed on the admin dashboard. The reason behind doing this work is first displaying the better UI and user experience to the admin user. After implementing these states, an admin user can easily know that how many active refund requests are there to be processed and how many bookings are there for which refunds can be expected. Okay, and the other reason is that after implementing these states, you will be able to work with eager loading in Rails in better way. You will get to learn that how to use includes and references methods to fetch data from the associated relations. So let's start with implementing states. Okay, so first open the routes file and define some resources for the admin namespace like workshop, customers, bookings, and refunds. Okay, so switch to the project directory and open the routes.rb. Okay, so go to the config directory and open routes.rb from here. Okay, and then inside the admin namespace, you need to provide some resources. Okay, so what we will provide here, so resources, let's say workshop, resources, things, and then resources, customers, and then resources, refunds. Okay. However, I'm not going to implement these controllers in this lecture. We will do that in upcoming lectures. But so far, we will just define these resources so that we can add workshop and booking links. Okay, and you will see the in this lecture moving forward that how we will do that. Okay. Now let's open the dashboard controller from the admin namespace and define two instances with instance variables there. Okay, so go to the app controllers. Okay, so go to the controllers and into the admin directory you can see that we have dashboard controller here. Okay, so we need to add two instance variables here. Okay, the first variable will be like fetching all the refundable bookings and another one is the active refunds. Okay, by refundable booking I mean that we will only display the bookings which are made for the workshop in future. Okay, and by active refunds I mean the refunds that has been requested by customers and admin user need to process that. Okay, so let's define the variables here. So at the rate refundable booking. Okay, so let's make it refundable bookings, and for now just keep it an empty array. Okay, and the same define at the rate active refunds. Make it a empty array as well. Okay, save it now. We will replace these blank arrays by active record queries to fetch data from our model. But before writing these queries, I would like to discuss the eager loading on brief first. Okay, so eager loading is the mechanism for loading the associated records of the objects written by model.find using as few queries as possible. Okay, and by using this eager loading, we can prevent the n plus 1 query problem from our code. I have already published a detailed lecture on n plus 1 query problem. Hence, I'm not going to explain this n plus 1 query problem in details in this lecture, but just remind you about this so you can think of preventing this n plus 1 query problem. In fact, you must have idea about this n plus 1 problem. Okay, and ways to prevent this. Okay, because many of the clients might ask you during the interviews or during the let's say project calls that how you will prevent the n plus 1 query problem from your code. So you must have answer at that time. Okay, because this is very basic to know how to solve this problem, and it is expected from an experienced Rails developer. Okay, and eager loading is the way to fix this n plus 1 problem. Okay, here we will use includes method for eager loading association. Okay, now let's work on the query to fetch the refundable bookings first. Okay, so what we will do, we will remove this blank array first. Okay, and again by refundable booking I mean all the bookings which are made for upcoming workshop. Okay, so we need to use includes method here to load all the workshop and a where clause to compare the where start date with today's date. Okay, if the condition in the where clause satisfies, then this will return all the booking made for the workshops in future. Okay, so let's write the query. So what we can do, booking dot includes, and we need to associate its parent model, so it is workshop. Okay, because workshop booking belongs to workshop and workshop has many bookings. Okay, so we will use booking dot includes workshop. Okay, and now in the where, what we need to provide, in the where clause we need to add a condition like workshop's start date, or the start date of the workshop model should be greater than today's date. That means if it, if this condition satisfies, then the workshop is considered as the upcoming workshop. Okay, so what we can do here, workshop, sorry, workshops dot start date. Okay, and then greater or equal than, with a question mark here, sorry, and what we can add here, date dot today, date dot today. Okay, and save this. Now before seeing the output of this query, let's run this query into the Rails console. Okay, so just copy this. Okay, and paste it into the terminal. Okay, so let's try this in terminal. Okay, so you can see if I run this, then you will see object does not support inspect. Okay, it means this is an error. Okay, now let's run the count on this query. Okay, so if you run this, if you run the count method on this query, you will see an error. Okay, no such column workshop dot start date. Okay, because with where clause the include method is not enough to join the workshop table. Okay, and the query we wrote here does not know the string references workshop. Okay, so hence we need to use references method here to get this query work. Okay, so how we can run this query. Okay, so remove this count and we can use references method, and then here we can add our workshop. Okay, so workshops. Okay, and now when you run this, you will see that there is a booking which is made for the future workshop or upcoming workshop. So there is only one query. Okay, and now if you run the count on this, you will see one output. Okay, so this query will work and provide the booking collection we are looking for. Okay, now since the query works, so it's time to display the refundable booking details on the admin dashboard. Okay, so first update the query into the terminal, into the controller. Okay, so just copy this. Okay, and paste it inside the terminal. Okay, so you can see that we added references here. Okay, now we will display the refundable booking details on the admin dashboard. Okay, so what we need to do, we need to open the index template from the app views admin dashboard and write the view snippet to display the refundable booking list. But before that, switch, save the controller. Okay, and then open the index template. So go to the app views admin directory, and inside the admin you can see we have dashboard directory, and here we need to update the index.html.erb. Okay, so what we can do, you can just copy this call lg6. Okay, this element, and now let's paste it here. Okay, and now we can change the content inside the hard body. Okay, so just remove everything. Here we can display the total refundable booking count. Okay, so let's add a p paragraph element and add a class lead, and we can add fw bold. This is the bootstrap class to display the font weight bold, display the font weight in bold. Okay, and now what we can do here, so we can just make use our instance variable here. So at the rate refundable bookings dot count. Okay, and then display refundable bookings here, bookings. Okay, and now save this. So when you refresh the browser, the admin dashboard, okay, make sure to sign in with the admin user. Okay, so you can see that what I can see here, one refundable booking. Okay, now let's add further details into this snippet. Okay, so just iterate over through this loop. Okay, so what we can just copy our instance variable, and here we can use, sorry, at the rate refundable bookings dot each do, and then you can add simply booking here, and then at the end this loop. Okay, so add an end day here, and inside the loop what we can do, we can provide a paragraph element with the link to that booking. Okay, so what we can add here, so sorry, first add the paragraph p class lead. And into this lead class what we will do, add a link to the workshop of this booking. So link to, sorry, link to, and here what we will add, booking dot workshop dot name, and the resources we defined inside our admin namespace are bookings, workshops, and all that. So what we can add here, admin booking path. Okay, so admin booking path. Okay, however, if we will visit to this path now, we will get an error, but we can just add the path, and we will use this when we implement our bookings controller inside the admin namespace. Okay, so let's add booking. Okay, and now save this, and when you refresh your browser now, you will see there is a link. Okay, so we can see this booking link into the admin dashboard. So this is how you can see the list of all refundable bookings which are made for upcoming workshop. Since we have only one refundable booking into our system, so you can see that. Okay, now we need to write the similar query for listing all the refunds requested by customer. Okay, and by similar I mean that we will only display the refunds requested for upcoming workshops. Okay, so now since we know that uses of includes and references that we saw in the query where we find the all refundable bookings, so we can write this query for active refunds as well. So let's go to the dashboards controller and write the query to fetch all the active refunds. Okay, so first remove this blank array, and here we can use refund dot includes, refund dot includes, and add the booking here, booking, and dot where. And since we need to find all the refund requested for the booking in future, okay, or booking for the future workshop. Okay, so what we need to do, bookings dot workshop id. Okay, so let's add bookings, sorry, first add the string here. So what we can do, bookings dot workshop id. Okay, and then in, and then we can add a question mark here, add a space. Okay, and then and refund dot state, refunds dot state is equal to, and then question mark, and what we can provide here, workshop dot upcoming workshops dot ids. Okay, so we will compare the booking workshop id with all the workshop ids who are in upcoming workshop. Okay, so and then let's provide an state accepted here. Okay, and then dot references booking. Okay, now let's run this query into the terminal first. Okay, so you will see whether this query works or not. Okay, so let's run this. Okay, so you can see one refund is processed there. Yes, one refund to be processed there. Okay, so you can use this query. Okay. Here I'm using refund state into comparison because we would like to process refunds only for accepted requests, not for all the refunds created by the user. Okay, so let's see this output on the admin dashboard browser. Okay, so what we need to do, we need to iterate through the active refunds. Okay, but before implementing the view snippet on the admin dashboard template, okay, first save the file, save this controller and go to the index.html.trb. And here what we can do, we can use the same call lg6 class. Okay, just paste it here, save it. So let's remove all the refundable booking loop here. Okay, so we can remove this loop from here. Okay, and we can just update the card heading that we write for the refundable booking. So what we can do here, active refunds. Okay, so at the rate active refunds dot count. Okay, and then what we can use here, refunds to be processed, to be processed. And save this file. And now refresh the browser. Okay, so when you refresh the browser, you will see the output here, one refund to be processed. Okay, now we need to display the refundable amount as well. Okay, so every time it does not make sense to calculate the refundable amount onto the view level or at the controller level at different places. Okay, so what we need to do, we can add an instance method inside the refund model that will return the amount to be refunded always. Okay, so go to the refund model here. Okay, because we will use that instance method or refundable amount into our admin dashboard. Okay, so let's define a method, def amount to be refunded, amount to be refunded. Okay, and what we can do here, we can provide number of tickets into booking.workshop.registration fees. Okay, so booking.workshop.registration fee. Okay, and this will return the amount to be refunded. Okay, now we can iterate our active refunds into the admin dashboard views. Okay, but for this I'm going to use a different element, that is the list group element of the bootstrap 5. Okay, so what we can do, add a ul class, and here you can add list group. Okay, and inside that list group we will iterate our active refunds list. So okay, so into the rels tag, just define at that active refunds. Okay, and active refunds dot h2, and here we can simply provide refund. Okay, and this block has been ended. And now we need to add our details inside the li class. Okay, so define an li class and provide li element and provide a name to it like list group item, list group item. Okay, and then close this li. And now inside this li, add paragraph elements. Okay, so we can add p class lead. Okay, and into that p class lead, what we can provide, link to refund.booking.workshop name. Okay, because we will add a link to workshop as well, because admin can go to the workshop on workshop detail page from this refund link as well, or this booking link as well. Okay, so what we can provide, let's say just copy this and just to use this link here. So here what you can do, refund.booking.workshop. Okay, refund.booking.workshop. Okay, and pass the same object here. What you can provide, refund.booking.workshop, and we will use admin workshop path. Okay, now we need to display the refundable amounts. Okay, and how many tickets we will refund or user wants to cancel. Okay, so add another p element here. Okay, so add p class lead. Okay, and into that p class what we can display, that refund, refund dot number of tickets. Okay, and then tickets, and here you can display the amount, so dollar. And then into the rails tag what we can use, refund dot amount to be 100. Okay, and then we can display the same text here to be refunded. Okay, now when you save this and refresh the admin dashboard page, you will see. Okay, I added the equal sign here. Let's remove that. So here now, if you refresh the page, you can see Ruby on Rails meetup conference and 6 tickets to be refunded, and the amount is showing here dollar 6,000. Okay, now we would like to add one more link, that is to process the refund here. So admin can click on that button and a form will be opened. Okay, and from there admin can process this refund request. Okay, so let's write that link here. Okay, however, we will just provide the JavaScript word value to that link. Okay, and in upcoming lectures we will add the link for processing the refund or opening the refunds form when we implement the refunds controller into the admin namespace. Okay, so but for now, let's add link to process refund. Okay, and then sorry, process refund. And what we can do here, JavaScript colon void and then 0. Okay, and let's add button class here, class button primary. Save this, and now when you refresh your browser, you will see something like this. Okay, so it will use the process refund. Okay, so now if you create any booking and make any refund request for any booking, then you will see the refund to be processed data here and the refundable booking list at the left side card. Okay, now, before ending this lecture, let's add one more link to the customers as well. Okay, here you can see three total customers. Okay, so what we can add here, that link to view all the customers. So when admin user click on that view customers, that should open a listing page of customers where admin can perform CRUD on the customers as well. Okay, and same we can do for the total bookings, and same we can do for the workshops as well. Okay, so add the respective links here. Okay, so what we can do here, first do this for workshop. So we can add link to, here we can add view all workshops. Okay, and here provide link that will be admin workshops path. Okay, and here we can provide class btn primary. Okay, and use the same link for bookings and customers. Okay, just up, need to update the workshop text. Okay, so we can add view all bookings. Okay, and then just add admin bookings path, and now do the same thing for total customers. So what we can add here, view all customers, sorry, and then admin customers path. Customers path. Save this and now refresh your browser. Okay, so you can see the links, view all workshops, view all bookings, and view all customers. Okay, now when you click on view all customers, you will see an error that uninitialized constant admin customers controller, and you will get the same error for all workshops and bookings controller as well. Okay, but we will do that in some upcoming lectures. Okay, so that's all from this lecture. In this lecture, we covered a very important concept, that is using eager loading to fetch associated data. We also saw how we can improve the user experience for admin dashboard. So let's give this lecture a try at your end. Now, as the next thing into this course, we will work on refunds, workshops, bookings, and customer controllers for admin namespace. Okay, so thanks for watching this, and let's meet into the next lecture. Till then, Tata, goodbye, take care, and stay safe.